What's up? It's James again from Mr. M. Thanks for checking out my video. For this video, I'm going to be rebuilding, where are they there? 3 type R 10-inch subs. They are the triplets. So we're going to start by breaking them down. I'm going to probably only include a recording of one of them being broken down because it seems like a waste of time. And then walk through the process of rebuilding them and making a couple of custom subs. And we'll see how they turn out. It should be fun. So hit that subscribe button, stick around, watch this video, watch some of my other videos. Thanks again. So we're going to start with the first one because it's the closest to the camera. I'm going to do it. I'm going to speed it up so it doesn't take quite so long, and I'll do like a voiceover of what exactly it is I'm doing, just to keep things, you know, full disclosure. Anyway, here we go. Alright, I just received these boxes. I didn't just receive all of the boxes. I received this box about a couple weeks ago. I just received this box today. This is from LB and this is from SSR. I had to source parts from 2 different parts companies because I couldn't get all the parts from one place. So these are for the 3 10-inch Alpine type R's, the triplets that I'll be rebuilding. So just see what we got in here for that particular build. I mean, I know what parts they are, but we're gonna take a look at the parts. So first of all, got voice coils, 2-inch, black, high temperature. There should be 3 of those. There's 2. There's 3. And then we have new spiders. 1, 2. Oh, there we go. 3. Good. I don't know if I bought enough tinsel lead. Hopefully I did. It's not. That's not enough. That's gonna do 1. Well, that's unfortunate, but. And then those guys. These are carbon fiber, very sexy dust caps with an interesting paper liners on the inside. Now, the only thing left for this build is the cones. Let's take a look at those. Now, these were the only 10-inch cones I could find with 2-inch voice coil gaps with openings in them. Kind of stuck using what's available. Not to say that they won't be lovely, but interesting. Oh, I see what's happening here. Paper. Like, why do these have gray on them? Oh, I see. That's lovely. The paper has stuck all over the cone. Nothing we won't be able to clean off, but slightly annoying. Let's take a look. There's your 10-inch cone, foam surround with carbon fiber dust cap. Sits nicely in the dust cap ridge there. Very nice. Okay, that is what it looks like. So these are, like I say, once again, 3 2-inch voice coils, 3 spiders, 3 cones, 3 dust caps. Those will be the triplets. So here's the 3 2-inch dual 2-ohm voice coils that I made for the Alpine Type R triplets. They are not quite finished yet. They still need secondary collars going over the leads. And there's lots of like cleanup to do on the epoxy and stuff. The final product it won't have all these like imperfections and dips and ugliness. It'll be nice and smooth and clean, and because there'll also be another band of craft paper running around there. It'll be a lot cleaner. So my workbench once again is a complete disaster. It seems to be a pattern. Anyway, I had originally planned on putting nickel strips on these voice coils instead of using the copper pigtails. However, the spiders, which I wasn't expecting quite as quickly, arrived, and the nickel won't be arriving until the middle of August. It's currently the 1st of July. Happy Canada Day, if that's your thing. So I just finished doing the stitched leads. I did a band of E6000 glue on both sides over here opposite the leads, because having leads on one side can cause it to have differential bending and cause the coil to tip and hit the core. What Alpine does with theirs is they actually embed a second set of coils, a second set of leads into the other side. It's kind of hard to see, but there actually is lead wire inside the spider going to nothing, just to create an equal amount of tension so that it doesn't tip. But I mean, with the 1/4-inch spacing, with the spaced spiders or whatever the spacing is, it's actually looks more like about 3/4 of an inch to 5/8 of an inch. You shouldn't get a lot of tipping anyway with the second layer of spider. Anyway, there they are. There's the 3. Made those up today. I'm gonna put them onto the bottom of this and then solder them to the terminals. So that's the next thing I'm gonna do. So these are the 3 spacer rings. This one's not quite, I haven't finished prepping it. I have to remove the old spider. Once it's removed, it'll look like that. Just clean and a nice seat for the new spiders to sit in. Nice and centered. It's only about 1/8 of an inch of a seat for the spider to sit in. Anyway, that's what we're going to do. We are going to put these on to the 3 of them. Like I said, the number 3 isn't quite ready yet, so I'm only gonna I don't even know if I'm gonna bother recording this, but I'm just gonna glue this into place. The 4 sets of leads line up with the 4 terminals. It's pretty straightforward. So yeah, let's do that. So all the stitched spiders have been glued into the lower seat on their spider spacer assembly insert mounting ring, whatever you want to call it. So that glue takes 24 hours to dry. I could probably work on them after about 8 minutes, but rather than not letting it fully cure before I start working on it, I am going to let it fully cure. So I decided to go with soldering these on the terminal block thingies before I did the cone assemblies, just because it'll be easier to work on these like this than it will once I have the coils attached to them. And the second, I mean, I would have done it before I put the cone on either way, but I'm just gonna go ahead and do that now rather than after I attach the voice coils. So I'll do the terminal blocks, then I'll do the voice coils, then the upper spider and the cone, etc., etc. So all 3 terminal blocks are now soldered to their leads, and the next step is going to be gluing the lower spider to the voice coil. I've done several videos where I talk about setting your coil height. Basically what you're doing is, I mean, not basically, you're putting the center of the winding on the center of the top plate. So what we have here is the first voice coil that's going to go on. It's got 3 layers of shims in between the voice coil and the motor core, so you know there's lots of clearance. I've folded all the leads down so that they're underneath the spider, because the leads on the spider are on the bottom, so that'll go over that, and then those will be connected underneath, and they'll be embedded in glue. So the first thing we're going to do is slide this into here, and it's nice and snug. The hose clamp is what I'm using to set the height. Then what we're going to do is drop this guy. I've also done little notches for where the pigtails will go. It's got to cross them twice, so there's 6 or 8, sorry, 6. That's line up with that. Push this guy right down into the basket. Now the spider is not, it's loose around the voice coil. There's a nice little gap so that there's no pressure whatsoever. So there you can see how there's a small gap on the spider around the voice coil, so it's not pressing on it in any way. That way we know that when we glue it in place and take the shims out, it's not going to apply pressure to the voice coil and move it out of center. So that's why I've left that small gap, and we'll just be gluing that on now. Next thing I'm going to do is glue in the top spider. So the last step is going to be putting the cone on. It's very important that the cone sits flat on the basket, so that when you take the shims out, much like the spiders, there's no pressure on it to tip. So we have the finished cone assembly, first of 3. Everything's glued together. It's always very important to check your ohms on the terminals, because the way Alpine does the terminals, the 2.1, the way Alpine does the terminals, there is a screw clamping the conductor tab from the tinsel lead into the actual binding pole, 2.1, 2.2. So if they're not really clean, I personally used a wire brush on my Dremel to clean both the screws and the little terminal tab thingy. You run the risk of not getting a good connection between the tinsel leads and then this binding post. So that's just very important to double check that. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to do a test fit. Then we're going to mark the screws for the basket, the mounting screws in the mounting flange, and we're going to mark them on here and put little notches into the surround so that the screws don't rip it apart. Not completely necessary, but it'll just be a cleaner look. I'm going to have to clean all of the adhesive off the back of this as well before I seat it, and clean it out of the basket too. But for now, we're just going to drop it in and take a white felt and mark on here where each of these is, so we know where to cut it. Notches for the screws. And like I say, we're going to clean this off. I won't do that on camera. And then we'll drop it in and glue the dust cap on and clamp it and everything, let it dry, and have at least one of these guys finished. Clean out the coil gap and stuff. So I just finished gluing number 3. 1 and 2 are done, and 3 is just drying. So those there are the triplets. They have the GSA voice coils in them, and as soon as this guy here is cured, I'm going to hook all 3 of them up and give them a test. Hook up a tone generator and do a frequency sweep and maybe some excursion testing and stuff like that. See how they perform. So these are the triplets completed. They are custom 10-inch Alpine type bars with custom made dual 2-ohm voice coils. So they are dual 2 ohms still. I tried to match the OEM as best as I could. The way I currently have it wired, each dual voice coil is wired down to 1 ohm in parallel, and then each subwoofer is wired in series. So the total ohm load is 3 ohms. My amplifier is very small. It's only about 250 watts. It's alright for basic testing to see if how the voice coils work and stuff like that. I got the tone generator set up. So we're gonna turn on the amplifier. Let's see, make sure that works first of all. Where's the switch? Okay. Okay, we got power. And then we're going to hit play. I got the volume very low. So I had a bit of a software issue, but now it's working. So let's try that again. This is, what are we at? 13 hertz. Let's turn that up a bit. Sorry about that. I have a messy bench and everything rattles on my bench. Okay. I'm gonna turn that down a bit. It's quite late. Oh, something just fell off my workbench. So this is 10 hertz. Clearly no trouble reproducing. 7 hertz. 6 hertz. Turn that up a bit as we get lower. It's not good for the coils, but hey. There they are, the triplets. Ready to roll. Okay, so one more time. We're going to test these at 6 hertz on the tone generator. Now let's just do something from the YouTube Studio Audio Library. Well, there you have it. They definitely work. So, the triplets. As always, thanks for watching. Check out my other videos. Like, subscribe, share.